with some news that just dropped this week. The first one, I guess, is the return of the Bassmaster Classic to Green Pond Landing, which is a record 5th time. They've never been anywhere that many times. How does this impact Anderson County to be a part of all this, especially for a 5th return?
Well, the first one was even before Green Pond. We had to kind of makeshift and do. And so that really began our national presence. Then the second one increased it, the third one, then the fourth one. But now that we're going to have this more than anybody else has ever had it, and it is the World Series of Fishing, and it is international, and so it's going to continue to increase the popularity of our brand in Lake Hartwell. And so it's a wonderful event, but it causes all of these other events. And as you know, I really love the high school fishing events because they bring in so many fishermen to a boat, and it brings in mamas and daddies and uncles and aunts and brothers and sisters. And the same can be said for the college tournaments. And they'll have 450 boats. And so I think that's real good. And so we're really excited about it, and the fact that Anderson County has had it more than anybody else, I think that just says great things about Green Pond Landing, and more importantly about Anderson County and the hospitality that we do. It's a joint project between us and Greenville, and so it works well for the two counties to work together. Most of the fishermen stay here. The weigh-ins, everything is really, really good. So we're really happy about that and looking forward to it.
And I know the county's measured some of the economic impact that ripples out from that.
It's in the millions of dollars. All of our fishing tournaments do that. But in the meantime, I mean, like in the next 2 months, we have smaller tournaments that are out there every day, local tournaments. So it's always something going on out there that's good for the local economy.
And I talked to Matt Shell this week at Parks, and he was saying that multiple departments have been working together to get construction ready out there. How did that all come together?
Well, we don't really stand too much on whose department is which department. If you have a situation like that's just stupid. It's not effective. But I mean, if you have a bulldozer and I need a bulldozer, and you know how to run a survey line, and you need to do that, so it's just one team doing it all together, cross-disciplinary. So it just works out very well, and we're all just one big family anyway, trying to work for the good of the county.
But that effort, he was telling me, is saving the county a lot of money, and also expediting getting that thing ready for construction.
Well, like what we've been doing, because council approved that money using accommodations tax funds that can only be used on facilities that bring tourists in. So we know there's a lot of rock out there. As one of our council people said one time, you do know the granite capital's right across the lake over there. So we've been doing some exploratory work to find out where that rock is, so we can avoid that rock and not have to pay an outside firm tremendous amounts of money to go blow up stuff.
And most of that construction is being paid for by grants?
A lot of it is being sports fishing grant, other grants that we've gotten, and some of the accommodations tax money and other funds that we've been able to secure. So yes.
And there are other improvements going on out there too, beyond just that, right? The electrical, and when that'll be finished?
The electrical is now finished. The new lights are up at the amphitheater, and this is recent. So that has been finished.
That's a pretty big deal in terms of what you can do out there, right?
And it's been wired electrically, so we don't have to use generators anymore. And what we're doing as part of the 200th celebration of Anderson County is we're going to have a play out there. I think it's called Welcome Back to Margaritaville. It's going to run 5 nights. Doesn't cost anybody in Anderson County a thing to go see it. We've used some accommodations money because it will bring tourists in, and we thank our good friends at ANMED who have given a substantial donation to make that happen. But
that's with the Market Theater, right?
Yep, it's with the Market Theater, and it will be free, and people can come out there and enjoy it. The newly wired amphitheater with the new lights, and it's going to be great.
It'll also allow for concerts and other things that you really couldn't do before, right?
Well, you could. But it didn't work out very well because you're lugging generators over there.
Didn't sound good.
You're playing music.
Couldn't
the generators in the back room. No, this is a completely different setup.
So looking forward, there will be other events coming.
Oh, there will be more events because it's not just a fishing facility. It's a park. If you just want to go out there and wander around like a lot of people do, you can do that. You don't have to go out there to fish. You can go out there just to enjoy the lake. We're going to have plays. We're going to have concerts. All of that stuff out there. And so it's multi-use area.
And when it's finished, it'll have 6 new lanes for boats. But even before that, you mentioned a minute ago, another big tournament announced they're coming in November, even before all that's done.
Absolutely, and that's going to be a huge
The Mercury
tournament.
Bass Championship?
Yes, it's a huge tournament.
This week, the county also received more than a $500,000 grant for Safe Streets project. Can you kind of give me a recap of what that's about?
Well, what that is, if you hear a fire truck coming, and sometimes they'll have to try to do this, or ambulance will do this. It's a pilot project, so we can sync those lights up. So the fire truck, the ambulance will have the ability to clear that intersection, change the lights, make the red lights go up, so it'll be safer. So not only for just regular people driving in cars, but it also be safer for the ambulance, but also increases response time so they can get to where they need to go quicker. So we're excited about this pilot project. We really appreciate the people that gave us this money, and we know there's some people in our state delegation that are working to make it even bigger. So we're really excited about that. So far, it won't cost taxpayers of Anderson County a dime. We're really excited about that.
And as a pilot project, I guess a lot of people are watching it to see how well it works.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Staying with recent announcements, Senator T. Ed Garrison, the late Senator T. Ed Garrison, was chosen to be the newest inductee in the Anderson County Museum Hall of Fame. What do you remember about Senator Garrison most? How did he help shape this community?
He was a power in Anderson County for many, many years. He did a lot of wonderful things. His wife also did many, many wonderful things, and his children are continuing to do many, many wonderful things. So he's left quite a legacy for somebody who served in World War II, served his country, served his state, served his county, and all of that he did very, very well.
And you knew him pretty well, didn't you?
I knew him, yes.
Yeah. Council is also considering a bond, getting close to that, on making it possible to do strategic planning for use of ATAX money instead of piecing together small amounts. What are some of the major projects that money's needed for, and how soon can that begin?
Well, one is that we just talked about Green Pond, and we're working on that. The other is a complete redesign of the Anderson Amphitheater. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in cement in the front. We're going to increase the amenities, add very nice bathrooms. We're going to have it where we can cut it in half so we can have smaller concerts. A lot of acts don't want to come to a place like that seats could possibly hold 15,000 people, and you have 2,000 people sitting down front, and it looks like nobody came to the concert. We're also increasing the amenities for the performers in the back. We're also enhancing the stage to make that look better, a more visual experience for people coming. So we're really excited about that. That work has already started. We're also excited about the additional work that we're going to be able to do at Dolly Cooper. We're very excited about that. We're very excited, me personally, on the additional work we're going to do at Wellington Park and Homeland Park. We're excited about that. All of those things are underway, moving fast.
A lot of people have overlooked Wellington, what's been going on out there.
Yeah, but I don't overlook Wellington. That's
I know you don't. I'm just saying
it's a very important park, and we need to enhance it more than we have.
And talking about parks, one of the big announcements is the opening of Piedmont Park. Remind people when that may be happening and what that park's all about.
That park is really the anchor for the Saluda River Blue Trail. It's not the end of it, but it's a clear segment from Dolly Cooper to that point. And in the past, when we had the Saluda River Rally, we would have to come into an old part of the old plant and pull people out. Well, now we're going to have a beautiful park, and it is a beautiful park right on the Saluda River.
It's like a nature reserve.
It's like a nature reserve. We have additional work we want to do there. We're securing funding to light it up at night and do other things. But that is going to be a drop-dead gorgeous park. It is right now in the winter, but in the spring, in the summer, and the fall, it's going to be killer. And so we're going to open it up probably in about 5 to 6 weeks because we got a few things we got to do. It's a paved road, has a wonderful shelter for people to go have a picnic and do things like that. So we're really excited about Anderson County's newest park.
And another big thing is, you just touched on a minute ago, is that the county's bicentennial celebrations this year. What programs are you looking forward to?
Well, we're going to have that play out there, and I think that's one of the things. We have some historical markers that we're going to be putting out around the county. Miss Beverly Childs is doing an awesome job, not only on the 200th of Anderson County, but on the 250th anniversary of our country. So we've got all of that going. We're going to have parades. We're having lectures right now. If people don't know about our lecture series at the Anderson County Museum, they're missing out on some wonderful information, and it's absolutely free. And you can go there for lunch, and you can watch them and learn a whole lot about Anderson County at our beautiful Anderson County Museum. We have an exhibit up there. We're also sponsoring.
They're adding a new. They've added a new 250th and
that. We've also we're doing some things in conjunction with the Art Center, trying to make everybody in Anderson County a part of it, or at least aware of the history of Anderson County, which I think is very important. That everyone should know where we were and where we came from. Hey, the courthouse will be finished.
I mean, gobsmacked at how good all this copper looks and how everything. When you get the sun hitting all these, not only the clock tower, but the downspouts and the trim and all that, it's pretty amazing how much different this building looks.
And it's going to look just like it did originally. And we're very excited about that. And we're also very excited that the clock tower's not going to collapse. We're really excited about that.
And no more water in the walls.
And no more water in the walls, no more asbestos, none of that.
You mentioned the parade. You and I both been around here a long time. Other than Veterans Day and Christmas, I don't remember us ever having any other parades.
No, this is going to be a one-off for 200 years.
I understand that, but I mean, it's just...
And we're inviting people to prepare floats with an historical theme, and we want to celebrate the history of Anderson County, but we want to celebrate all of it, the good, the bad, and the indifferent, because we don't want to just do a, hey, this is wonderful. We want everybody to have a full understanding of the history of Anderson County and how we got here, which is really a microcosm of the history of the United States, or at least the South.
And there'll be a book that people can get that will.
There's a book that's be coming out pretty quick. The museum just ordered some really elegant little goblets, and they're very nice, and they might cost more than $1, but they are beautiful, and they have all of our stuff to celebrate 200 years, and those are for sale, so we can recoup our money, and I intend to have several, if not more.
The Rock This Country tour schedule for the summer canceled, but you said there's alternative plans coming for a series. Can you give me any details on that?
We have a relationship with the group that put on Rock the Country, Peachtree Entertainment, and we're working with them in 27 to have a series of 10 concerts at our newly redesigned amphitheater, of which they're stepping up and helping us pay for the new amphitheater. And we also are really excited about our partnership with ANMED, and they're going to be part of helping us with the new amphitheater, actually putting money in the deal. So we have partners, and we have a few more partners that we're looking at that may want to come in and help us enhance that area even more, but we're really appreciative of them.
You mentioned putting a new area down front. A lot of groups won't come here unless you have VIP seating for sale, right?
Absolutely.
That's how they make their money.
Yeah, but we're going to, in front of the stage, we're going to cement that area right there. We're not going to put permanent seats, but we'll be able to put up seats, because some places, I mean, some concerts you don't want to have seats, but some you do. So it's really going to look nice, and hopefully we will have a rendering that you can put up here pretty quick, because I think people are going to be amazed.
Also, earlier this month, council passed new restrictions on solar farms in the county. Can you explain why they did this and what
They have started that. They have a completed third reading, but
Right.
we're coming up on third reading.
Seems like there's no opposition to it, though, really.
No, it'll pass. But solar farms are wonderful things, but there are a lot of things about solar farms that people didn't understand. Like, whenever somebody comes in with a solar farm, you want to be, make sure that the neighbors want it, that everybody's aware of it. But then there are a lot of companies out there, and they'll come in and tell you, when this is over, when the life of this project is over, you can take the panels and sell them and recoup your money. Because you can't, because there's no market for them. So they will be putting something there that, no, that's really fun, but you're going to put up a bond or a letter of credit so that will be taken care of. The other thing is that a lot of these people will come in and put up a solar farm, okay? Then they flip it, okay? Well, we're going to make sure when you flip it, you still have that letter of credit or that bond. So somebody's going to be responsible for the cleanup of that at the very end.
Right.
And there are other things in there too, more precise. That's getting into inside baseball,
Right.
but we'll have copies for everybody.
Just to stop the abandonment, because I know some of them were actually promising, you can generate your own electricity when we leave. Like, they're going to leave while it's still...
Yeah, wrong.
Right.
Those things have a life cycle.
3 weeks ago, South Carolina Public Service Commission held a hearing in Anderson about the natural gas power plant down the southern part of the county. What's the latest on this, and what will it mean to that part of the county? What will the county in general once it's complete?
Well, it will be a huge tax base, and specifically a huge tax base for School District 3, which is one of the poorest school districts in South Carolina. It also happens to be one of the best school districts in South Carolina. So it's going to give them a big boost that way because they don't have a lot of industry there. You see that, well, there's a lot right there, but it's not in their school district. And no, it's not there because of a data center. It is not. And it's a cogen operation, as I've said before, just like the one at Lee Steam Plant, which is no longer Lee Steam Plant, it's cogen. And it's been there for about 20 years now. And then you have Santee Cooper, the bottom part of the county, but Santee Cooper is a public utility, so they don't generate tax dollars. And so that one's been operating for over 20 years. I think it's going to be a good addition to the county, and we've gone over this, but I mean, if you remember when it got very cold, Duke Power was sending you a little note saying, turn off your electricity or everything's going to crash. Well, this is going to buttress the availability of electrical power in our area. Can they take that electricity and sell it to Tacoma, Washington? You absolutely can. But I got a sneaking suspicion that we might be first in line.
Right, and that you mentioned District 3, School District 3. This will allow them to build that new school too if the bond
It will
passes.
go a long ways to help that new school get built.
And we just met this morning on the new Anderson County Detention Center. What's the latest update, and is it still scheduled to open this year?
It is scheduled to open from our meeting that we had this morning before Thanksgiving. And we really think the majority of construction will be through by June, but then you have state inspections, and then you have to train the detention officers who are going to work there, and we'll do a run through. We also discussed other things because it is such a massive investment for Anderson County that we're going to open it up to the public, not while the prisoners are there, and let the public come in and take a look at it and see what it is. And we had one member today, George Duckworth, said in another area to raise money for the Sheriff's Foundation, they let citizens pay to go spend the night in jail, and said they raised a whole lot of money for the Sheriff's Foundation. So that's going to be a really big deal before Thanksgiving. It's going to make all the difference in the world. You know, today we have 505 prisoners in Anderson County Detention Center today. It was designed for 245. The new jail, correct me if I'm wrong, will hold 540 under 640 under the existing footprint, but we can really add more because we've done things for single cells that can really be turned into 2 cells. But the kitchen has already been designed to go up to 1,000. Everything's been designed to increase the size over time, long after you and I have to worry about it, but they won't have to go build a kitchen or new entrances or anything like that.
And the safety of the not only the inmates, but the safety of the officers there is going to be...
It will be much safer. It will be much better for everybody concerned. It will be more efficient. Our water bill out of the old jail is $45,000 a month. You can't find all the leaks. You can't patch them all. We'll actually save a little money there, and as you well know, that we're setting aside a place for federal prisoners, and the reason we're doing that, A, we will have the space for it, but we make money housing federal prisoners like the city of Anderson has been doing for over 30 years. So that'll be money, income, revenue that we can use to pay down the bond.
And they showed some pictures this morning at our meeting. Anybody who was concerned this was going to be a luxury accommodations needs to see those pictures. Well, it's clean and it's safe and nice, but it's not luxurious.
It's not luxurious, and you saw the cells today. 2 bunks, 2 little tables, a toilet in the back, and in the
no windows.
No windows. In the meeting before, and I said, how big is the mattress? And they said the mattress is 4 inches. So no, it's not luxurious accommodations. But compared to what we have, it's penthouse suite.
The Pendleton plant is almost done.
It's almost done, and that's going to be nice when that comes online, but we're getting close on that. That's another huge project.
How about Equinox? Anything else on any movement on Equinox project?
No, we're probably going to have to begin the attorney talk on that to make that move faster than it has been moving in the past.
That'll be a major addition to the city and the county and everything else.
But we've already had people, we've taken over the mill property in Pelzer, and yesterday I had somebody inquire about buying it. I said, well, we got a process to go through, but that was encouraging that somebody else knows the value of that property like we do.
It's a great piece of property.
It is.
Any other economic development updates or news?
We'll probably start Tuesday with another company, 150 jobs, and then another company with around 70 jobs. And again, just to keep reiterating, when we have some companies here who are struggling, that's just a fact. And just because somebody's here today doesn't mean they're going to be here tomorrow. So you have to constantly replenish that pot with jobs so people can work here in Anderson County and have good jobs in Anderson County, jobs that will pay a salary and benefits that you can raise a family on. That's what we're after. That's what council wants done. That's the only thing that they look at is how are we going to take care of the citizens of Anderson County.
Well, and that's something we haven't talked about much is one of the other factors in that is if you don't bring in new businesses with good wages, there's no upper mobility to people who are flipping burgers or doing something in fast food. There's nowhere for them to go.
You got to give them a path.
The Anderson County Library will debut its new bookmobile in March to replace that 20-plus-year-old bus, and the library's continued to grow in all its branches. Is a strong library system important for economic development?
It's one of the foundations. It's like that stool that everybody talks about. And we have an exceptional library system, and they serve a whole lot more than you just going in there to read a book. They can help you do 18,000 things. They can tell you how to do this. They can point you where to go. I mean, it's a full-service library, and that's what you need in this day and time. Because, I mean, I know of colleges right now that are building just digital libraries. I think you lose something when you do that, because there's nothing like holding that book or having your friendly librarian there to tell you what to do or how to go do this. So,
and I've been in every single branch, and it's obvious that everybody I've come in contact with is passionate about what they're doing, and they want to help you. And you don't get that kind of service when you go anywhere else much.
No, and I'm still really excited about how wonderful the new library in Ava looks. Real happy about that.
This is getting a lot of use too.
Yes, it is.
What's the latest on Paws? I know a lot of changes going on over there.
A lot of changes, good changes. We're excited about everything that's happening over there. We had to temporarily suspend the cat neutering thing, but we're getting that back up running. And we have 5 vets currently part-time who are working down there helping us. We're moving in that direction. We've reestablished communications with Tri-County Tech.
Humane Society.
With the Humane Society. We're having a lot of good things. As you know, council funds the Humane Society also. And the need is always greater than what we can do. But I would tell people this. If you can, please watch the Paws videos that our staff puts out down there. They are humorous. They are wonderful. They're funny. And some of them will bring a tear to your eye, and others you'll just start laughing. That people need to watch those.
And you're getting close to hiring a full-time veterinarian?
Yeah, we're in conversation with somebody local here we think would be a great fit.
Finally, last year County Council approved increased payments for poll workers, which is likely to help our staffing. We've got a very busy election year, spring, all the way through to the fall.
Yes.
My dealings with them, Anderson County Board of Elections and Voter Registration, have been pretty exceptional, and they seem to be one of the best in the state. Why do you think that is year in and year out? They continue to lead?
They've had great leadership. Laura Booth, who's over it right now, is a crackerjack professional. She knows what she's doing, and she does it very well, and she has a dedicated staff. They are probably the best in the state. Because, they just fired everybody at the State Election Commission, and Richland County's always having problems, and people are acting crazy, and ours is just steady and straight, steady and straight.